how to disappear behind a towel. Just simply hold it up in front of you, drop it, and poof, you're gone. Okay, it's a simple project. Let's get started now. Okay, let's import our raw footage, and we'll drag it down to create a new composition. Okay, this is our raw footage, and this is what we're working with. You take a towel, hold it up in front of yourself, drop it, and very carefully walk over the towel, don't touch it, and out of view from the camera. And come back in, pick up the towel, give us the high sign, and walk off camera again. I've got a lot of footage here after the point where she walks off that I don't want, so I'm going to drag the tab over to here.
Right click in the work area and trim comp to work area, and we've got a little over 30 seconds to work with. When she drops the towel, what we want to see is this right here. Okay, let's duplicate this layer with Control D, and the top layer will be the layer that we mask, and the bottom layer will be what we see after the towel drops. So when she drops it, she walks off, and this, right after she walks off, this is what we want to see when the towel drops. She won't be there, and the towel will be on the floor. So as soon as she goes out of the frame, this is where we want to freeze the image. Let's rename these. Top layer, we'll rename it before she drops the towel, and the second one will be after the towel drops. All right, the bottom layer, we're going to be altering the time mapping. So we want to freeze frame it up to this point, and then let it go on after that. Okay, so we're going to highlight the bottom layer, go up to layer, time, enable time remapping, and right where she walks out, we're going to put a keyframe, and we're going to delete this first one that appeared by default. So now let's solo this bottom layer, and all we will see here up to this point is it's a freeze frame, and then she comes back in. Alright, now the top layer, the before layer, we're going to mask out everything except the girl and the towel. So go up to your rectangle tool, and make a rectangle on either side of her. And you've got to be careful, because if you look closely, here's the towel on the floor. Remember, this second layer, the time has been frozen, and it shows the towel on the floor, and we don't want to see that yet. So highlight your mask and bring it over a little bit more. Okay, now we want to animate the mask so it drops when she drops the towel. So right before she drops it, open up the mask, hit the time watch under mask path. That will add a keyframe. Now on your keyboard, for a PC keyboard, hit page down. Each time you hit page down, it advances the time by 1 frame. Alright, add a keyframe here. Advance a couple frames, and now advance it until it drops and there's no more movement of the towel. And highlight mask path, left click on one of the corners, hit shift on your keyboard and come down till it's all the way down. So now roughly follows it down just a little bit. It's a little slow. We're going to adjust that. So hit page down a few times. Just have to work with this. The towel doesn't drop perfectly horizontal. You can see that it starts to slant, takes on all kinds of weird angles at the bottom. So we want to follow the top of the towel with our mask. So we need to add a few points. We need to add some more vertex points. So go up to your pen tool, add vertex tool, and let's add 1, 2, 3 points to the top of our mask. So now we can adjust the mask as it's falling. Keep in line with the top of the towel. Let's feather the mask so it's about 7, 8 pixels. So as the towel is dropping, the mask follows the top of the towel, and she's disappearing. Alright, let's see what we've got now. That looks pretty good. I noticed there's a difference. I have a camera with an automatic exposure, and I can't override that. So based on what's the camera sees, is going to adjust the exposure. So when she walked out of the range of the camera, you can see that it lightened up versus at the very beginning was darker. So we've got different exposures within this short film. So we can get rid of that. We're going to add 2 more masks on either side of mask 1. So go back to your rectangle tool and just create a small mask on either side of that. We're going to feather that. And we'll add another one. Open up these 2 masks and we're going to feather them way out to 44. How about that? So it's not so noticeable. That's much better. Now we need to animate these 2 masks, just like we did with mask 1. So this keyframe doesn't belong there. This is where she begins to drop it. So we'll add a keyframe. Hit the for mask 2 and 3. Hit the mask path, the stopwatch. We'll add a keyframe. Do that for mask 3 also. And hit page down. Hit the mask path. Mask 2, mask path. Left click on a corner. Hit shift and come straight down. And we'll do the same with mask 3. Highlight mask path. Left click on one of the corners. Hit shift. Drag it down. Now let's see what we've got. You can adjust this so these don't come down so quickly. Let's take a look at this. Not bad. Looks pretty good. So she drops the towel, disappears, and this is it takes her a while to come back in front of the camera. We could adjust that. We could speed that up very carefully by going to the end of your timeline, adding a keyframe. This is for the bottom layer. Add a keyframe at the very end, and you want her to show up shortly after the towel drops. See, she actually doesn't show up for quite a while. So what we can do is highlight these 2 keyframes, and they must be moved together, or it'll be out of sync. She'll either be walking too fast or too slow. So move this over. So right after the towel drops, okay, I hope you enjoyed this project. It's fairly simple. Have fun.